my channel. If you are new around here, then my name's Holly. I do floss tube videos on WIPS that I'm doing for cross stitch and also diamond painting videos. So I'll do videos on time lapses and I'll do videos on organise with me. I'll do sort of reviews and things like that, and I'll do a diamond painting and then I'll do a review about the company, how good the drills are, how good the canvas is, what it was like to do, and what the quality is after the diamond painting has been done. So if that is something that you think you'll be interested in, then please press the subscribe button and the notification bell and you'll be notified as soon as my new videos go up. But let's get stuck in because I have loads to show you. I think what I'm going to do is I would like to do kind of a yearly update on how I feel like this year has gone, and I would also like to do kind of a what I'm going to do in the future. So I think I'm going to sort of, you know, juggle things around a little bit with regards to my cross stitch projects. I would like to get some more starts because I'm not getting bored of what I'm doing, but I think you guys are going to get bored of the same videos every single month being the same projects. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to do lots of different new starts, and then whatever I've been working on that month, then I'm going to do an update about it, but I'll get more into that later on. So what have I been working on? Well, I've pretty much done some touch time, I use that word loosely, on every single project. Some projects I've spent more time on than others because some projects are huge and I want to spend more time on that because I want to make sure that I get, you know, some decent progress on that, and others I'm just not 100% enjoying. There is one project that is my nemesis. I'm loving it and then I'm hating it and then I'm loving it and then I'm hating it, and I think you all know which one that is, but when I get back into it I will show you. So think what I'm going to do is do the WIPS first. I haven't even got really a haul. I've got literally a new needle winder. I've got this massive craze for needle winders. I've got so many. So I have actually got that one here to show you. So I will just, without revealing too much of my work, I will just try and get it off now. Okay. Oh, and I think there's one that was gone. Right, so this one I wanted to get back in the fall or autumn time. However, I don't know if you can even see that because the light, there we go. Is that better? Yeah, that's much better. Sorry, I shone that right in the light then. But this one was one that I wanted to get back in fall, and for some reason, well, obviously it is, you know, a fall type leaf. So this one was out of stock like the whole time I wanted to get it. So as soon as it came back in stock, I thought I'm going to buy that. Now I haven't got that for any particular project. What I tend to do is I tend to marry up my needle winders to my projects. So yeah, that will just, I think that's going to go on the autumn one that I do this year. I think that's where that's going to go, but at the moment it's just sat on one of my other ones. But literally that was kind of it. That's all I've bought this month. I didn't get any Christmas presents that were stitchy, but I'll go more into that. I don't really like my family buying me anything stitchy because, I don't know, they're just, I love them to bits, but they're not, you know, they end up buying me cross stitch kits that I'll never use because I like to kit my own, you know, projects up and things like that, but that's another thing. So I am going to start off with what I've worked on this month. So the first one that I'm going to show you is, actually I've got it here, is Grey's Faces. This one, absolutely beautiful, by Josephine Wall. Still loving doing this one. I have done, how many did I do on this one? I did 298 stitches. Now, I went back to work in December, and so I only really had 2 days in the week that I could do any stitching. So it's very difficult when you haven't got any other time to do stitching to kind of get anything done. So this month has been a pretty poor month for stitching, but I have tried to touch on absolutely every project I've got. But because of that reason, I haven't achieved as much as I'd like to. Having said that, we are now in tier 4 in the UK. If you're in the States, we have tiers. So tier 1 means that you can go out and absolutely everything is fine. You can see your family. There's no risk. Pretty much all the restaurants are open, all the bars are open, cinemas are open, everything's open. Tier 2 is where you are a high risk and the restaurants and bars are still open. You can only see, I think, 3 other households or 1 other household outside. It gets so confusing. But basically, if you're in tier 2, you can still go to a restaurant. People are still working in restaurants and people are still going to bars and working in bars and things like that. Now, for the whole of December, Gloucester, which is where I live, was pretty much in tier 2. And then the Prime Minister on Boxing Day, or the day before Boxing Day, or a couple of days before Boxing Day, when he did one of his press conferences, he said, no, you're going into tier 3. So tier 3 means that you can't have bars open, you can't have restaurants open, you can see 1 other family or 1 other person outside. You can't mix with anyone, you can't mix with family members, you can't mix with friends indoors or more than 1 person. And pretty much you're kind of on a lockdown, but it's like a soft lockdown. So if you can go to work, you need to go to work. If you can work from home, then work from home, that's great. And then we've just entered into tier 4. So Boxing Day when it went into tier 3, which meant that we were no longer in tier 2. So we were no longer open as a restaurant. Then we went into tier 3 pretty quickly on Boxing Day. And now we've just literally gone into tier 4. And I think there is another press conference tonight. So we are, are we the 3rd or the 4th? I don't even know. So we're the 4th of January. And we've got another press conference, and I've got a feeling that we're going to go into tier 5, and that means you can't see anyone, you can't do anything, you have to stay in your home. The only time that you can go out is if you have to go shopping, and only 1 member of your family can go shopping, unless you're a single parent and you have to take your children, that's fine. But it's pretty much like a hard lockdown like it was in summer. So long story short, bear in mind that was quite a long story to start with, I now have more time to stitch because I'm not having to do my evening job. So I just do my day job, which is 7 or 6 o'clock in the morning till 12 o'clock. And then I've got all my time in the afternoon. I go into my horse and then come back. So I'll do a couple of hours in the afternoon, then go into my horse, then come back. And then I will stitch in the evening or I'll read. So I've got back into that as well, but I'll tell you that a little bit later. So this month has been a little bit kind of iffy, purely because I have been doing my other job. Now, when I say this month, I mean December. January, however, I think we're probably going to be in a lockdown for a bit. So I think I'm definitely going to have a little bit more time to do some stitching. How long we're going to be in a lockdown, no one really knows. I think a lot of that's coming out tonight, but we will see. So I've done 298 stitches on Grace Faces. This is what it looked like before. And this is what it looks like now. So we are getting there, but there's just not as much progress on this as I would like. Purely because, again, time constraints and things like that, but it is getting there slowly. I'm starting to sort of come down this area here, and then I don't know if I want to orientate it like diagonally down, sort of this way. I'm not really too sure. I'll see how I feel, but it's coming on. I don't know how I can. There we go. It is coming along, but I've still got a few stitches in the top bits to do, and I'm doing them as and when I'm using the colour of those stitches to fill in. But I am really enjoying that. It's a really, really lovely piece, and that one's going to be really beautiful framed. So that is that one. The second one is, I'm going to try and do it in the order I've got it there because it's going to be a lot simpler. Is my Susie, which is a long dog sampler. So on that one I did, where's my piece of paper gone? Oh, sorry, it ended up being on something on my tablet. So Susie, I did 482 stitches, which isn't too bad. I think I did that in one day. So that is this one here. I really love that design. It's one of my favourites. So that is the Soucis Long Dog Sampler. This is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. I don't know why I've got all this thread attached to it. Bear with, caller. I haven't really parked these threads. I've just kind of abandoned them in certain places. But there we go. So really, really pretty. I'm definitely happy with the 1/2. So I'm doing that with one strand of CXC in 324, I believe. And I'm loving that colour. And that's going to go into one of my spare rooms in the States in my house. Absolutely beautiful. I don't think I'm quite at a page finish on one of those sides, but I'm pretty close. Pretty close. Right, the next one I'm going to show you is the Northern Expressions band sampler, the rainbow band sampler, and I love this one. So that is what it looks like. Absolutely stunning. I love this design. I'm doing this in the Soir d'Alger, no, or Soir d'Alger silks, and I didn't know if I would enjoy working with them because I use CXC in all of my projects, and I thought, not too sure. I don't like change very much. I'm a bit of a hobbit when it comes to change, but absolutely beautiful. So this is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like this month. How stunning is that? It is absolutely beautiful. Absolutely gorgeous. And on that one, I think I did, how many did I do? I did 374 stitches on that one. So I think what I'm going to do with that is every single month, it doesn't matter what the stitches are, I think I'm going to complete a band. So I did that band first, then that one, then that one, then that one. Then I did, that's it, the other two. Oh, hang on, where are we? Those two there. Don't know if you can see it very well. So there are two bands there, but it looks like this one. And now I'm on this one here, which is like the slightly more orange one. I am definitely going to work on a band. So instead of going, right, I need to achieve 400 stitches or whatever, or I work on it for 1 day or 2 days, I will just work on it until I get a band. And that kind of goes in with what I'm going to discuss at the end of this video. But I just think every single time you see it, there is a new band and you can really see it come to light. I think that would just be so much more interesting than, oh yeah, I've done, you know, 25 stitches and I've got like a little bit of a band, or, you know, I've got half a band done. It doesn't look as good as if you can say, oh wow, you know, look how it's, you know, coming on. It's coming on really, really quickly, because every single time you've got a new band and you can just see it build, and it'd be lovely. So that is that one. The next one is, now I don't know, I'm just going to try and find this on here really quickly. I don't know if you saw this last month. It was one that I've been wanting to do for a long time, and I didn't really want to do sort of a new start because I didn't want to have like something else to do. But going on what I'm going to do going forwards, I'll explain that a little bit later. I think it was the right decision. Hang on 2 seconds. I'm just going to try and find this, because the picture is actually on my phone, which is fantastic, and I am recording with my phone. So where are we? So I didn't actually get this. Where are you? Okay, let's go back and go into images. Here we go. So I didn't actually get this one from Lakeside. I think I'm just going to end up bringing up, oh, hang on. Oh my days, let's have a look. Why can you never find things when you need to? Right, okay, so let's make that bigger. Right, so this is the one that I have started. I'm not too sure if you saw it last month, but it's that one. Absolutely beautiful. I've been wanting to start that one for a long time. If I've already started it with you, because I think I've had this discussion before with one of my other projects, that I said I don't know if I've started it. I think it was a twisted band sampler, but I actually had started it. So if I've got something to show you, I will show you it now. If I haven't, then this is where I am. So I've done that much. So the fabric I bought is 28 count. I'm doing it 2/2, and it's by, the fabric is by Chromatic Alchemy, and it's called Cumulatus, something like that. And I just thought it was absolutely beautiful for that project. There is a kind of a light bluey mottle going through it, and it just really is stunning. And I think what I wanted to do is I want to get all of the seasons. So I've got winter, and I think we are still in winter. So I think winter ends in end of February, and then you go into spring. So I've got until, what are we now, January? I've got until sort of end of February, and I'm partly through N, and then I've got TER. Yeah, I don't know how to spell winter then. TER. So I think by the end of February, I will definitely have that finished, and then I can go on to my next season, which will then be spring. So that is that one. My next one is, what's my next one? Alternative Reality. And I did 387 stitches on that one. So not bad, but for a whole month, it's, the thing with Alternative Reality is that it is, like most of mine, Heaven and Earth design, and it's just so full of confetti, so it just takes so long. If you had like one area that was just one colour, one solid colour, you could get in a decent amount of stitches, but you can't. So that is Alternative Reality, and that's by Josephine Wall. Oh, hang on, sorry. Really, really beautiful. This is where you saw it last month. And this is where we are this month. Again, I park my threads, so I just need to sort my parked threads out. They just look a bit messy at the moment. And then, oh gosh, this is what it looks like now. Now it's really difficult, like I've mentioned in my past video, because this frame is so big and I've got a wall literally this side here. It's very difficult to kind of show this close up, but yeah, it's coming along. I'm not quite a page finish yet, but I'm not very far away, and I think then I'm going to go on to this area here. So my second page will be this one rather than down here. But yeah, that's coming along, and that's another one that I'm really enjoying doing. In fact, there's not any that I'm not, apart from one which I will show you in a minute. I think that's going to be the next one up anyway. Yeah. So the next one is Storykeep, a Storykeep. It's Life is an Open Book, and it is this one here. I absolutely love this design, absolutely love it. However, I have definitely come to the conclusion that I hate doing 1/1 on 25 cross, 25 counts. So this is what it looked like last month. And this is what it looks like now. Again, it's not getting a lot of love. I'm just not loving this. I'm not enjoying doing it. I think that's like one of the other issues. I love the design. love the design, but I'm not loving doing 1/1 on 25 count. I just hate 25 count. I like to be able to see my stitches. I don't like the very tiny sort of crosses, and I understand that a lot of people might say, well, you know, the point is that you're not supposed to see the stitches, but I also like slightly bigger designs. Now, most of mine, actually, apart from the ones that are on 28 count, and I'm doing 2/2 anyway, so technically they're on, what's that, 16 count? 14 count, something like that. They are much bigger projects. They end up being much bigger projects. So I think I much prefer that anyway. So that is that one. I think I've done those. The next one, oh yeah, I haven't shown you my bookmark. I'm not quite finished it yet. I'm almost there. But this is where you saw it last month. And this is where we are now. Absolutely beautiful. Let me show you. So I just literally need to do this bit here, and then I just need to do the outside, and then all I need to do is make a tassel, which I will do. So I'll cut it out, I'll stick the back on, because I've got like this really beautiful sparkly backing fabric to go on it. I think it's like a, what do you call it? Oh, what is it called? Not foam. Oh my god, it's completely slipped my mind. But anyway, it's not like a fabric. Oh no, it begins with F and it's completely gone. Anyway, so I'm going to pop that on the back, and it just makes the bookmark a little bit neater, so you can't really see my stitches at the back, and also it's sparkly, so it looks really nice. So that should be also finished by my next update, which will be exciting. Why am I wanting to say foam? It's right on the tip of my tongue as well, and I cannot even think what it's called. Oh my gosh, that's really going to bug me now. Anyway, if you can think about it, if you can think of it, please just comment on the bottom and just let me know, because it's going to bug the hell out of me. Oh, hang on, I've got one more. One more. Right, so the next one is Bountiful Bookshelf, which is also a Heaven and Earth design. I'm doing that. I didn't tell you what I was doing everything on, did I? Oh my days. Right, so Bountiful Bookshelf, ta-da, I'm doing 18 count, 2/1. So this is where you saw it last month. And this is where I am now. I'm not going to take this off my Q-snap, purely because I have moved my Q-snap, and I think you can kind of work out for yourselves like how far I've come. So there we are. So I literally got a tiny bit. So this here is literally there, and that's the start of the project. But I'm getting this bit here done, which is grand, and I've only got like this line here to do and there, and then I will be on my second page, so that's good. But it's really looking lovely. I love it, and I love 18 count. So alternative to reality is 18 count, 2/1. Bountiful Bookshelf is alternative, is 18 count, 2/1. The Storykeep is 25 count, 1/1. My Twisted Band Sampler, this one here, is 28 count, 2/2. The Long Dog Sampler here is, I want to say 32 count, 2/1/2. So it's one strand of thread over 2 holes, so 1/2, yeah. And Grace Faces is also 18 count, 2/1. I'm getting myself so confused. So most of them, apart from the ones that are on the smaller, or the higher counts, are 18 count. And that brings me to the next part of this video. So if you are only interested in WIPS, that's grand. You are free to leave. Thank you very much for stopping by, but that is kind of the end of WIPS. I am going to talk a little bit about how I found this year and what my new projects are going to be in the future, or for 2021, and how I'm going to sort of change things up so I feel a little bit more comfortable with the videos that I'm showing you, with more content, different content, and also with the way that I work. So thank you so much, and I will catch you next month. Right, so one of the other reasons why I haven't done a hell of a lot of stitching is because I have refound my new love for reading. Now, as you know, I do diamond painting as well, and when I'm doing my diamond painting videos, I tend to put on an audiobook because I find it's like the easiest way that I can read and get through sort of a couple of books a month without actually having to sit down and take out time in the day where I'm not actually doing anything else. I always feel like I need to be doing something. So if I'm going to read a book, then I'd much prefer to do it on Audible whilst I'm doing something else, so whilst I'm cross stitching or whilst I'm diamond painting. But just lately I have got really back into my love of classics, and I didn't get anything stitchy for Christmas because that's not what I wanted, but I did get some really beautiful books. So I've got back into my love for classics, and luckily for me, I didn't do literature at school, English literature. I know a lot of people did. And from working with people that did actually do literature at A-level, they're saying that it kind of ruined the classics for them because they were forced to read them. They had to analyse them, they had to rip them apart, and it just meant that it was really, really difficult to enjoy it when you were under pressure so much to get a book read by a certain time. So the book that I got for Christmas, which I am going through at the moment, is, and this does also link in to what I'm going to be doing this next year, is the Penguin cloth bound classic Great Expectations. So this is a book by Charles Dickens. You can have a look inside. It's absolutely beautiful. The cover on these are just stunning. I mean, how beautiful is that? So keep that in your thoughts, this book here. The next one that I got was called Sandition, and this is a Jane Austen book. But again, how beautiful is that? I mean, these are stunning books. So Penguin Clothbound have done, I think there's like 83 titles now they've done in this really, really beautiful covers. Jane Austen is one of my absolute favourite writers. And as well as that one, I got Sense and Sensibility, another beautiful, beautiful book, gorgeous cover. They're almost like a kind of a fabric-y kind of cover. They're really beautiful, and they're just nice to hold. They're a nice size, they're nice to read, and I just love the feel of them. Now, I am a little bit sad, and I don't know whether this is just me, in the fact that I probably won't read these in the nicest possible way because I don't want to ruin them. I do actually have most of these in the Wandsworth collection, which are these type books, but I don't really like these. But I've got all of the collection of Jane Austen. I've got Great Expectations, A Christmas Carol, and Anna Karenina, and Tesla d'Urbervilles by Thomas Hardy, which I absolutely love. But my partner, God bless him, also bought me a brand new Kindle. How gorgeous is that? White Kindle. I wanted a white Kindle for so long, but I couldn't justify buying a white one because I already got a black one, and I only wanted a white one because of the colour. But I also got a beautiful cover as well. I love rose gold and love glitter. Anything glitzy, diamante, blingy, I'm all for it. Absolutely love it. And my room in America is going to be like a really beautiful dove grey and have accessories and elements of rose gold, sort of pinks, greys, that sort of colour, which is really lovely. So what I tend to do is I will buy the buy the Kindle version of any of these beautiful books, and I will just sit and read my Kindle rather than having to ruin these books. And I've done that with everything. So I've got the whole Harry Potter collection and I won't even touch them. I don't even know if you can see, they're over there. I don't know if you can see them on my bookcase. I can't even point there. I haven't even, oh my god, it's so difficult to do this. Anyway, they're on my bookshelf. I've got all of the Harry Potters on my Kindle. I haven't touched them. In fact, I've got another set of the exact same ones up there which I'm reading as well. So if I don't read on my Kindle, then I'll read those ones. So I don't have to ruin those books over there, and they can sit in there and they can be pristine and beautiful and untouched. But there is a point to all this. One of the reasons why I have done a little bit less stitching is because of reading, and I have actually been sitting down and reading a book. The ones that I'm reading at the moment, for some reason I ended up with 2 versions of The Great Expectations. So one didn't arrive, so they sent another one, and then I realised that it actually went to my next door neighbour instead of our postbox. So I've got 2 versions of that. So I'll probably just read one of those. But any of the other ones that I'd like to get, I will just probably read in these, because they're like flimsy books. But that comes to my next part. So going forward, I have got my eye on a few new projects. Now, 2 of them include these books, and I will show you why. So the first one that I would love to do is this one here. How beautiful is that? Now that is these books that I've just shown you. That is a cross-stitch version of the Penguin cloth bound classics. So I'm going to be doing that one. The only thing is I've never really done backstitch on top of things. And I worry, see on the spines, there is a lot of, oops, hang on. There is a lot of backstitch on those spines, can you see? I'm not sure how I'm going to feel doing that. I'm going to have to I think I'm going to have to somehow get over that psychologically. Right, the other thing I'm going to show you is, look what I found. These are cross-stitch projects. Tess of the D'Urbervilles, which I've just mentioned at the bottom. Oh, hang on. There, that one. That one I've got in the Wandsworth. The Great Expectations there, that is the Charles Dickens ones I've literally just shown you. And that one there is Sense and Sensibility by Jane Austen. And these are a cross-stitch version of these beautiful books that I've just got for Christmas. And I am so pumped about that. And I literally cannot wait. I cannot wait to start those. So they are 2 projects I want to start New Year. Another one I'm going to start in spring is Spring by Cricket Collection, which is one of the similar one to the winter one that I'm doing. Let me just go back. Here you go, that one. Spring. Now I'm not too sure about the colour that is on. I think it's a little bit too bright for, you see, I think the fabric loses the word spring, I think, a lot, especially if you see the P, you know, that is in yellow as well, and then you're also on a yellow fabric. So I'm not 100% sure about that. I think what I might do is do it on like a very light mottled green. I don't know, because R is in green and G is in green. But I really wanted to do this on a really beautiful mottled fabric, and I wanted to do 28 count 2/2. The next one I want to do in autumn, around autumn, is autumn, and again I would like to do that in a kind of a mocha mottled fabric, again 28 count 2/2, and I'll probably get those fabrics from Chromatic Alchemy. And another one I would like to do is, now this is going on my book theme, because as you know I love books. I mean, I am doing like Bountiful Bookshelf, which is the mammoth of books itself anyway, which I'm super pumped about. I would love to do this one here, again books. I've got such a love of books, and once that has been done, and once the really beautiful cloth bound penguin cross stitch ones have been done, I want to put them up in my reading nook. So my new house, I've got like a reading nook, so I've got like this big it's not a bed, it's like a big sofa thing that comes out from the window. So you've got like the big window, and then I would really like to have shelving underneath it, and like a really nice light, and I don't know, I really love the idea of having somewhere that I can store and display my books, and somewhere that I can chill and read. And I always like reading under a window. I think it's because of the natural light and the fact that there's nothing better than having a nice hot cup of tea and sitting on the sofa area under the window with a blanket whilst it is absolutely hailing it down with rain. There is just nothing better than that. It's so nice. You're inside and you're nice and cozy, and the rain is hammering down on the window, and oh, it's just, that for me is just a perfect rainy day thing to do. So the books I want to do, and again I'm trying not to excuse me, I'm trying to stay away from bigger projects, because the Amy Stewart one that I've got, which is the Bountiful Bookshelf, because I think that's like 98 pages, and I started this in February and I've done 1 3/4 page. I'm going to be doing this for like 111 years. So I didn't really want to do anything that was big, which is why I thought, okay, well, if I do those spring, summer, autumn, winter samplers, I haven't shown you the summer one, but I will be doing summer. So I will be doing the spring, summer and autumn ones. Obviously winter will be done. And the book ones, I'm hoping that they're not going to be too hectic. I think that one is like 3 or 4 pages. And then the other one that I would like to do, which again is a lot smaller, is this one here. So this is Ornament Stitch in Time. I have got a Stitch in Time, but again it's another one like my massive Bountiful Bookshelf. It's got like 90 odd pages, and I think that's something that I will start once I'm like 50% or 75% ahead of my book one, because it's just such a big project. But then you know what, going forwards, like I said, I haven't actually explained to you what I'm going to be doing in a second, but which I will do in a second. But you know, it might be something that I you know, I take up in the future, because it's something I enjoy doing. And the last one that I really want to start doing is this one, because I love colour, and look at that. It is stunning, and unfortunately the light's not doing, if I move that down, I don't know if it's doing it any justice. I think that's a little bit better, not sure. But that one is also a Josephine Wall, and Josephine Wall is one of my favourite artists, and I just think Josephine Wall and Amy Stewart by far are the most amazing artists that ever walked this earth, as far as I'm concerned, in my opinion. And I just love doing their projects. So that brings me on to the reason why I'm starting so many, I'm going to have so many projects on the go. I've had to think about it, and I have decided that I just put myself under way too much pressure when I'm like, okay, I've got 5 projects or 6 projects, I think, maybe even 7 now. I've got to hit however many stitches on this one, I've got to hit stitches on this one, I've got to hit stitches on this one. Now, I'm a little bit undecided whether every month I show you something different. So for example, I put my stitching in groups. So one month I will show you a stitch in time, the ornament, the long dog sampler, the alternative reality, Grace Faces, and winter. And then the next month I show you Storykeep, the rainbow sampler, and then a couple of the other ones that I've started brand new, like, you know, the book ones that I showed you. Or because one of the reasons being is I don't always feel like in the mood to work on one project. So for example, classic example, I only put in 213 stitches in Storykeep because I just don't enjoy doing it. Now, the problem that I potentially will have is if I start doing it like that, Storykeep will just never get finished because I'm like, well, hell to it. I don't like doing it, so I'm not even going to work on it. But at least if I hold myself accountable and I have to put a certain amount of stitches in, yes, it might take like 3 years to do, but eventually by doing 200 stitches at a time, it will get done and it will get finished, because I actually want to do that one in 18 count as well, because I want to be able to do a review video on what things look like in 25 count and what things look like in 18 count, so people can see the difference in finish. A lot of people said they like the 25 count because it doesn't look pixelated, and actually it looks way more pixelated in the like 18 count. However, it's not so much that it looks more pixelated, it's more the fact that because it's a larger project anyway, it won't look pixelated. Does that make sense? So because it's much bigger, you still have the same amount of stitches, whether you're doing it on 150 count or whether you're doing it on 25 count. It's still the same, or 14 count. The actual finish of the project is not going to change. It just means that it will be a slightly bigger project or slightly smaller project. But you know what? When you've got it hanging on the wall, you're not going to see the stitches anyway, whether you're in 25 count or 18 count or 14 count, realistically. So I'm undecided about whether to do that or whether I do swaps, so rotations. So I rotate my work. So for example, I will work a week flat on one project, and then I'll work a week flat on another project, and I'll work a week flat on another project. But it just means that when I come to do my monthly updates, I'm not really going to have anything to show you. So for me, I think what I need to do, I think I know what I want to do. I think realistically what I want to do is I want to just work on what I feel like I want to work on and just take the pressure away. I've almost got my yellow rose diamond painting finished. I have got literally about that much to do, and then that's finished. I've got some videos that I need to edit on that one, and then once that's finished I can upload that, and that'll be that one. I have got my peonies one, my beautiful peonies diamond painting. I've almost finished that one as well, and that's a large one. That's 110 by 95, and that has almost been done as well, diamond painting wise. Again, all this stitching, I've still got my diamond painting to do in the background because this is also a diamond painting channel. So I think that's just what I'm going to do working forward. I think I'm just going to stitch on what I want to stitch on, make sure I stitch on say 5 projects in a month, but then you never know what I'm going to be showing you. You know, there might be completely different projects next month, and that just, for me, I think if I was to watch someone in a video, I would get, yes, I do like seeing updates on their projects, but I would get so bored if I'm seeing the same updates on the same projects. It'd be like, come on, like, okay, you've done like 25 new stitches in this, I've seen this before, this looks not unsimilar to what I saw last month. So for me, I think I kind of want to go on what I prefer to see, and I love nothing more than rocking up to a floss tube channel not knowing what I'm going to be shown. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think it'd be better for you guys, it'd be more exciting, you'll be more likely to tune in, you know, because everything will be a surprise. Let me know what you think about that. If you've got any feedback. I do want to do myself a bookmark. I mean, I did start myself a bookmark and then I completely messed it up halfway through. But is it important enough? I don't know. I definitely want to start the ornament because I just think that's a lovely, lovely size to start with. And I don't know where it is now. It was the round one I showed you. And I think I'm going to display that. Oh, that's the other thing as well. I want to display this one in a round hoop, like a nice, beautiful oak colour, bamboo colour, brown hoop, because I really want to display that sort of in a round display rather than a square one. And I think actually showing it off best would be in a round hoop, but it is, so it says it's 10 inches. It's not, because I'm going to do that in 18 count, because 18 count seems to be my go-to. So it won't be 10 inches, it will be about 14 inches, which means I probably need, I think it came out as like 13 inches and a bit. No, it was about 13 inches. So I think I would like a hoop that's about 14 inches in diameter. And I cannot find one anywhere. And I don't know whether I am looking in the wrong places, but all the hoops I find tend to be like 8 inches, 6 inches, 4 inches, 12 inches. I cannot seem to get one that is 14 inches. So I don't know if that is something that I'm going to be able to do. We'll have to see. But I mean, I've looked on places like Lakeside, I've looked on 123 Stitch, I've looked on Amazon, UK and American. I've looked on AliExpress, and I just don't seem to be able to get a big enough diametered hoop. So I don't know if I am going to be able to display that how I want. However, that is one that you will see next month, because that is one that I want to start straight away. I have all of my floss for it. There are maybe a few flosses that I've stolen for another project that I've lost and then found later. So I will just go through that again. And I think I've got all the flosses for like the whole project because it's nice and small. And oh, hi Socks. My kitty's just come in. And so I think I need to buy a frame for that one, because I really like working on a frame. I prefer to work in a frame than a hoop. I just find it easier because I've got a Lowry stand, and I just find it easier connecting frames up to my Lowry stand, so I've got something to, to actually be solid to work on. So I do need to get another frame. I've got like loads of frames. My partner's like, why do you keep buying so many frames? Why can't you just take projects off and then put another project on? But it takes so long to do that. I hate putting projects on and then taking them off and then putting them on again and taking them off. Q snaps are the worst for me. I hate putting Q snaps on. These projects aren't so bad because they're like, I get the clip frame, so you just, clip it and bang, you're ready to go. But I'm just lazy, and I'd rather have a frame for each project and have like 50 million frames. But hey, that's just me. So anyway, I think I've rambled on enough. That is pretty much everything that I am supposed to talk to you about. It's been lovely coming back on video. I really missed it, even though it's only been a month. It was a little bit more successful this time than last time, because I do remember actually to take off my firewall, which is fantastic. So setup now is only like 5 minutes instead of 5.5 hours, which is what it was a couple of videos back, which was a bit of a nightmare. But I hope you've enjoyed it. If it is something that you would like to see again in the future, like I said at the beginning of the video, press the subscribe button and the notification bell, and you will be notified as soon as any of my videos go up. Give me a thumbs up. If you've got any questions or anything, pop a comment in the comments box and I will come back to you. But that is everything from me, and I will see you in my next video. Thanks guys. Bye.